guys, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Like usual, I'm here joining you to teach you one more new piece of content strategy to help with your bookkeeping business to make sure that you're able to really get past any blocks that you might have. At least today, that's what I'm focusing on. That way, you can really get your business out there and get connected with new clients. Do you like my new blue light glasses, by the way? Hopefully, you enjoy them. If not, I don't care. I like them. Anyways, so today I want to talk to you about mindset issues when it comes to your content. There's really common ones that I come across, and I see them in my business every day. Okay, so let's talk about these four different mindset issues. I'm gonna give you solutions for all of them and give you ways to like get started in case you get stuck trying to write something, okay? Again, I'm all about giving you practical tips that you can take action on right away. Okay, so how do I know that mindset is sometimes a problem when it comes to your content, your social media, stuff like that? All the time. I have clients that I have written things for, and you would be amazed how often, even when a client is given a completed piece of writing, whether that's their website content, even the social media membership that I do, you would be amazed at how many times, even with complete, ready to post content, people struggle with actually sharing it, posting it, getting it up there, getting the word out about it. There are lots of reasons for this. Sometimes it's time, sometimes other things, but I want to focus on the mindset issues today. Um, so, again, I have four of them, but I kind of have them broken out because I want to be able to give you tips no matter where you are in this. So, the four mindset issues I want to cover today are one, lack of confidence, two, lack of understanding, three, lack of strategy, and four, a straight up dislike of writing. That really, if you don't like the task, that really screws up your thoughts around having to do the task. So let's jump in on lack of confidence as far as like a mindset thing. Okay, so you could have lack of confidence in multiple things. It could be, first off, in your professional experience. Now, what does that look like? Maybe you feel imposter syndrome, like every other bookkeeper is talking about things that you're not talking about. You don't have as much experience as X, so you have comparisonitis. So you feel worried getting your name out there, getting your business better known because you're afraid that you're going to be seen as a fraud. That's totally normal. Everyone deals with it. Here's what I want you to do. Just because this helps me, because it pisses me enough to move you forward, find someone who's in your field, someone who probably knows less than you, less experience, less education, whatever it is. You know without a doubt that you're better than this person, and watch them succeed. I want that to motivate you, and remind yourself that, oh, I have way more than enough qualifications and experience to succeed, just like this person has. It's a really good benchmark. So find someone who can help bolster your lack of confidence. Know that you can do better than this person. Another thing that I like, I don't know if you guys like Brene Brown, but Brene Brown does this thing called permission slips. So she does it more for things like permission to have fun and things like that. But you can also give yourself permission slips as far as like permission to feel confident in your abilities. And you can literally write them out on post-it notes. That's what Brene Brown does. She folds them up, sticks them in her pocket. I have affirmations on my board here behind my laptop, which you can't see. um, but lack of confidence in your professional experience is a mindset block that can keep you from advertising your business. You may also have a lack of confidence in your writing skills. This isn't just dislike, this is like lack of confidence in your writing skills. And so by being afraid that you aren't going to say it correctly, you'll avoid it completely. You'll be anxious about it. You'll feel like you're back like in English class and you're waiting for the grammar teacher's red pen to go across and just scratch everything out. You're afraid to even put stuff out there. You know what a good solution is? Go find other people who are posting in your field. What are they saying? Get some examples from that so you don't feel the pressure of writing from scratch if you don't feel confident in your writing abilities. Go see what other people in your field are writing. And guess what? Here's a really good thing to keep in mind. Social media is perfect. Social media is perfect for being more informal, for allowing an occasional misspelling or grammatical error. You're here to be social. And because of that and the frequency of your posts, you can have a few mistakes here and there, okay? So don't worry too much, right? So that's one mindset issue is lack of confidence. Here's mindset issue number two, lack of understanding. Now this actually can go into a lot of areas. And again, when you're writing something regarding your business or your advertising, You are trying to communicate a specific point. You are trying to get people to take a certain action or have a certain belief. It's persuasive. Well, if you don't understand the thing that you're persuading about, you don't understand who you're talking to, if you lack the understanding of the topic, then of course, if you lack the understanding, then it will be very hard to write about it. How do you explain something you don't know yourself, right? So this lack of understanding can come in a lot of ways. Maybe you have a lack of understanding when it comes to your clients. Now, I don't mean serving them as a bookkeeper. I mean specifically lack of understanding on their side of the equation. You may not know what they're struggling with. Maybe, and if you do have some content up, maybe the lack of understanding shows up in that people without money are contacting you for help. People who are in the wrong industry or business types are contacting you, saying you like service, but all these inventory are reaching out. These are symptoms that you're not talking to the right person. You don't understand who your client is and what they're dealing with. It's easy to start changing that around. Take some time, do a little bit of research, use a client avatar tool. If you go to my website, there's a tools section and you'll find the client avatar tool at the bottom of the page. Use that, fill it out. Just try and figure out what they're dealing with. And again, I'm going to keep saying this throughout this presentation because it's a really easy one to do. What are your competitors and colleagues writing about? What are other bookkeepers posting? What is getting comments for them? Who are they writing to? So figure out what's working for other people. That's the beautiful thing about marketing. It's so public, you can learn from other people. So if you feel like you don't understand your clients, you're not hitting the mark right, take some time, do a little research. That way you can talk specifically to them. You want your audience to be specific to who you want to work with. Another point where a lack of understanding can come in is you may not understand your service's benefits. And I see this all the time, all the time. So you're brilliant in your field, you're super comfortable in it, you've done it for 15 years. So, however, but it makes it sometimes hard to talk to someone who is not an expert like you are, for a lot of reasons. One, you may not feel like you're an expert. Well, I know this, so everyone can know this, right? So that is something that holds you back. You don't understand how it benefits others, and that lack of understanding hinders your comfort and your willingness to say it. You feel like everyone says it. Another thing, you may just gravitate safely towards, well, I'm just going to talk about how they can contact me. And all you do is put up posts about, here's my phone number, here's my services, and that's it. And then you get tuned out like a commercial because you're not communicating how it makes their lives better. So no one's going to be listening, unfortunately. No one's going to respond. People don't respond to a commercial. At least like in social media, you know what I mean. So that's some of the symptoms of like not understanding like your service benefits, of not being able to get into the shoes of your client. So again, one of the solutions, use the client avatar tool. I'll say it again. Knowing your client is so important to helping you understand enough to talk to them. Find out what your colleagues and clients are writing about. What is their content focusing on? And also, if you need to, talk to a friend who's not in your field. Talk through it. Say, hey, look, I have to write about my business. I feel like everyone does what I do, and I don't know how to talk to someone who's not a bookkeeper like me. I'm going to run through some things. What jumps out? Do you understand? Do you not understand? Talk to someone. This will help you get a better understanding of. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I had a call come in. All right, so another thing that you may lack understanding of is how your social media marketing works. Some of the symptoms of not understanding it are, one, you expect results immediately, or you're only posting sales posts. You think that if you just put your phone number out there, everyone will call as soon as they see it. It's not how social media marketing works. You only post infrequently. You post sporadically. You're not on there all the time. You're not responding with comments. You only post on your page and not on your profile. You're not friending people. You're not connecting. When you don't understand how social media marketing works, it affects your content. And then so like it has this domino effect of you don't get results, so you feel discouraged. And also you just like, you don't have clarity in how to move forward. It's just like, what should I be posting? And I hear that all the time. What should I be posting? Where should I be posting it? What time of day? What platform? Things of that nature. So if you don't understand like the social media marketing, the social media part of it, it's hard to feel like you understand what you should be doing when you're posting. So the three things I would tell you to do when it comes to that, just to keep it really simple so you can do something today: get focused. So pick a platform. I want you to pick one for now if you're not sure what to do. Pick a platform, get focused. Now get connected. You need to be friending people, you need to be in groups. Social media marketing. Remember the social media marketing. Get connected and keep connecting with people. If you want people to see your post, you're going to have to connect with those people. And then another thing, be consistent. You need to be showing up consistently. I could go into the algorithms and stuff. That's not what today's is about. You need to be consistent, posting a minimum of 3 times a week, ideally more. Um, these are the basics of understanding social media. Get focused on one platform, get connected with people and in groups, and then post consistently. You need that to support the posts you're putting out in order to make those words that you spend that time writing actually work. Um, learn the strategy that supports your content. And by the way, I do social media strategy, content strategy coaching. So if you need help, just let me know. Um, Yep. And then another lack of clarity you may be having is you may just have a lack of clarity regarding your goals. Maybe you don't know what you want to accomplish through social media. Do you want people to call you, to have a consultation call? Do you want them to sign up for your email newsletter? Do you want them to get to know you better and move them onto like your website or some other location? What do you want them to do? Do you want to be getting client leads from this? Do you just want to be visible in case someone is checking you out, for, Facebook stalking you? Um, you need to be clear on what you want to be achieving here. And if you don't have a clear goal, you may lose faith that the process will have no effect. Because one of the tricks, you need to keep your goals in mind. And if you don't have clarity on those goals, because social media marketing takes time, this isn't an overnight process. And so if you don't have a goal set out, like, oh, I need to post for X amount of time to achieve this goal, to, connect with this many people, to have this many sales calls, to things of that nature, it's hard to be consistent if you don't know what you're aiming for. This is something that, like, actually Ido has taught me through working out. I usually hate setting time goals when it comes to like our workouts. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. He loves working out and he's insisted on it, and it's actually super helpful. It gives me something to shoot for and something to improve on, and I always perform better in my workouts when I have a time goal set aside. So take a minute and set some goals. What do you want to accomplish? How many times a week do you want to post? For how long do you want to be doing that? How many sales calls do you want to be reaching? Set out some goals. That way you know why you're doing this. Don't just get stuck in lack of understanding. Figure out exactly what you're going to do. That's a mindset issue that will hold you back. So mindset issue 1, lack of confidence. Mindset issue 2, lack of understanding. Mindset issue number 3, lack of strategy. And I kind of touched on this with understanding. Again, if you don't know why you're doing the social media posting, it can be a grind, especially in the beginning when you're building up from scratch and you're not getting calls and you're posting all the time. If you don't have a strategy, if you don't understand what you're aiming for or how it's going to work, it's going to be a lot more discouraging. It's going to be hard to be patient because you don't have goal lines set out, you don't have time frames, things of that nature. And if you don't have that strategy, it makes it hard to keep going. It's easier to just quit. And also, another part of it that I've seen, one lack of strategy, a symptom of that can be you don't know what to do with someone if they do get interested. You're almost afraid to bring the clients on because, oh my God, you don't have an onboarding process. Oh my God, you don't have contracts. And you're just overwhelmed. And so that makes you want to not post, not market. So that's a lack of strategy. You haven't built up your business to scale in that strategic way. So a solution for that would be, if you have a hard time keeping faith that social media marketing works, again, I'm going to keep coming back to it. It's simple. It's not hard. Find someone in your field who made social media marketing work well for them. If this is the way you want to market, find someone who did it well and emulate them, mimic them, watch them. This will help give you faith on the hard days. by seeing that this worked for someone else in my field and I can do that too. It will help you to keep going because you'll see that it does actually work. And sometimes, actually, you can reach out to those successful entrepreneurs and at least ask a few questions or schedule a quick networking call. Most entrepreneurs want to help you succeed, even if they're in your field, quite honestly. I've done this with writers before. Um, I'm scaling up my business as far as and I needed help figuring out how to do that. I contacted a writer. I'm moving into a territory. She didn't care. We had a free hour-long conversation because she wanted to help me because there's plenty of work. So I want you to feel like you can reach out to these people. They're most likely going to be generous and helpful. Another thing to do, if you've never heard of SMART goals, look it up. It's a really good framework for getting very specific on what you want to achieve, and you can apply that to your social media. So SMART is an acronym, and SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? So it helps to break down steps. I actually use this a little bit in my writing because sometimes writing a blog or writing a website is just too big and abstract, and I have to break it down into small pieces. Our brains need smaller pieces to work with. So if you break down your social media into this specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals, you'll be amazed at how much more progress you make, I promise. So a lack of strategy, again, is something that keeps people from just posting in the first place. Just sit down and take a minute to figure out how many times a week, what is my goal, how long am I going to do this, what are the results I'm trying to aim for, what are other people doing. That's all it takes. It really is. Now the fourth one, dislike of writing. For some people, writing is just a necessary evil, and they're not at a point where they can hire someone else yet. If you can, do that. Do it. Do it. Do it. And dislike of writing may come up in a variety of ways, and of course, I've heard all of it. Writer's block takes forever to write a post. You procrastinate beautifully. You'll clean the whole house before you write something for your business. You just really hope that referrals will work out. Not really a strategy. That's just kind of a hope. You get anxious. I had one client who said she wants to throw up when she has to deal with this stuff. You just have a dislike of writing. And of course, if you don't like it, you're not going to want to create. You're not going to be motivated to do it. So I want you to, again, break this down in a different way. If you dislike it, but you still got to do it, you can't afford to hire someone yet, let's try and approach it different ways. So one, I want you to just create an outline first. Don't worry about paragraphs. Don't worry about grammar. I want you to just create an outline. And again, I told you that I tend to break my writing process down because it helps me, because writing something is just one big abstract goal. I need to break it down. So I want you to break down your writing into 5 steps. The writing that I put together does not come out of me fully edited and beautiful and polished. It goes through a lot of different steps before it gets to the end result. That is the nature of the writing process. And it helps you be a lot more forgiving as you go through it. So I want you to break it down into these 5 steps and take it stage by stage as you're writing something. 1, have a brainstorming stage. You're just dumping everything out. 2, have a drafting stage. You take the brainstorm and you pick out things that seem to be doing the best. It's like, oh, this is the most interesting, or I like that. And then you're just kind of starting to mush it together, kind of like smushing clay together. So you're drafting it. And then 3, you take that and then you find the outline, find the flow. What's your introduction? What's 3 middle points? And then what's the conclusion? What's the action you want them to take? Just outline it. So brainstorm, draft, outline. If you have to, get up, walk away from your desk, and come back to it in between the stages to break them up to make it simpler. After the outline, then you take it and you write. You expand on the points, turn them into paragraphs. That's it. Make them imperfect, make them run on sentences. This is not the time for editing. Editing is at the very end, and if you try and edit in the first 4 steps, it will kill you, because it kills me too. Editing is for the end. So brainstorm, draft, outline, write, and edit. The micro steps will help to break down the goals, and you'll feel more accomplishment as you go. So that's one thing you can do if you dislike writing. Turn it into tiny little goalposts, right? Not only that, remind yourself of why you're doing it. Again, this is where if you have a lack of strategy, you're not going to do this. But if you remember, okay, I have to do this in order to hit my sales goals, in order to hit my, to get enough sales calls this month, to have all of this stuff. If you have a goal laid out already, it will help you if you have this block of disliking writing, if what you want is more important. So really think about why you're doing the writing, right? Also, don't start from scratch. So if you dislike writing, again, I keep saying it. What are other people writing? What works? Learn from that. Mimic it. Don't copy. Don't plagiarize. But mimic it. Learn from it. And use copywriting formulas. Buffer has a great article on this. ADA, BAB, PAS. There's a whole alphabet soup. But you do not have to start from a blank page. You can start from a formula that will help you lay out the strategy. You can see what other people are writing. You don't have to start from scratch. That's so much easier. So don't start from scratch. And again, if you have the funds, resource it. And if you want, I can be your resource. So those are the 4 mindset things. Now here's the thing. This is very important. I do not want you to wait until all of these mindset issues are solved first. It's never going to happen. I deal with issues in all of these things. If I don't understand a project well enough, I need to stop and get back and understand it better. The idea is to work on these simultaneously. You're making your life easier. But you're simultaneously creating content. So, where does that leave us? I've given you ways to tackle these mindset issues. However, what do you do when you still have these issues? How do you get started into writing when you're still dealing with this stuff? I'm going to give you 4 little exercises that I use that really help me when I have blocks and I'm in these issues. Here's the thing. Here's the whole core of this part of it. You cannot wait for inspiration. No, like there's a quote by an author, and I can't think of who said it, but basically he's like, well, of course I wait for inspiration, but thankfully he shows up at 9 a.m. every day. And that's the talk of a seasoned writer who has built a discipline and a technique where he shows up and primes the pump essentially so that he writes. You're not waiting for inspiration. You're not waiting for the mindset to be perfect. These are ways to help improve your mindset and make it easier for you, but there is a way to sit down and make it easier. So instead of waiting for inspiration, you kind of have to sit down and just turn the faucet on. And at first, water is not going to come out. And that's a super frustrating place to be, and I know because I'm there all the time. All the time, and I hate it. And each time that it happens, I'm so afraid that this is the time. This is the time it's not going to come. Don't worry about it. It's going to come. And I'm saying this for myself too. Hopefully I'll remember this. So here's 4 exercises that I do to help me just get started. Because once you just start writing, essentially, the rest of it will come. It'll loosen up your brain. It'll thaw things out. So one thing I like to do, a timed writing exercise. Squibbler.io. Look up the website. Super helpful. It has this thing called a dangerous prompt. And basically, if you stop typing, it will delete everything. So the idea is you just have to type constantly for 5 minutes. This kind of short circuits you trying to overanalyze anything. You just have to type. I do this sometimes. A lot of times it's horribly misspelled, all capitalizations, and a lot of swear words in there. But guess what? It breaks through whatever is mucking up my brain. And inevitably, as I'm doing it, I always find at least one good idea that I can start working with. And all I need is a crack in the door to get in. So just sit down and write for 5 minutes without stopping. Again, Squibbler.io, great tool. Another thing, 2, play a short writing game. This helps me sometimes when writing feels like a big pressure and a big chore. Make it a game. Kind of come in the side door. You kind of have to trick it a little bit. So for example, I'll sometimes write stupid haikus. Okay, a haiku is literally 3 lines. It's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and then 5 syllables. That's it. Write a stupid haiku about the mug on your desk. Write a stupid haiku about the glasses you're wearing. Write a stupid haiku about how much you hate this project. But it makes you laugh. It just kind of breaks up your brain. Instead of getting so log jammed on your project, write a stupid haiku. Write a 5 sentences description of something. Like I have, this necklace, this mandala piece. What does it smell like, feel like, taste? I guess I can do taste on this. I don't know. But you see what I mean? It's just like you're trying to just start writing about anything because it loosens things up. Also, just play a rhyming game. Just see how many words you can rhyme in a row. Anything to just, again, thaw things out and get the faucet going. So 1, timed writing. 2, play a writing game. Just something short, stupid, simple. 3, brain dump ideas in a mind map. Maybe just typing things, like in a Word document, period, is just awful. So what I'm gonna do, like break out your color pens or use a tool like Coggle. Coggle is my favorite, Coggle. It's a free mind mapping tool that you can use. And so instead of having to like write things out all in lines like this, you can do mind maps and it kind of sprawls over here. And the beautiful thing is, as you kind of like lay it out that way, your brain is processing it differently. It's in a different part of your brain a little bit. So you're also playing with colors, you're playing with shapes, and it also is another way to just thaw things out. And you're trying to also see, sometimes, like you may take an idea 2 steps and it's a dead end. You're like, oh, well, of course it's not working. But you think of another idea, and then all of a sudden you have 3 ideas off of that, and then 4 ideas off of that, and then all of these branches. It's a really good way to figure out which way to go when you just can't visualize it on a black text on a white document thing. Again, Coggle, great for this. And then also, this is my favorite thing lately. If you don't know what to write, instead of picking one topic, start with 3 things. Again, I told you there's a process, there's a drafting process. If you don't know what to write about, write 3 things to write about. Now, this is why this works so well for me. I get perfectionist and I want to pick the one perfect thing. And so I get so worked up on picking one perfect topic that I don't get to the next step. So I treat it like a drafting instead. And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna pick 3 topics, and then I'll be able to see who does best. It's almost like an idea auditioning. Let's put 3 things out there and then see how they fly. And for me, that has been so helpful for me lately because it gets me past this perfectionism of picking the one perfect topic, and I get to see how 3 different ideas go. And usually another one is viable too, and I can put it onto another piece of content later. It's great. So it's if you have trouble with perfectionism, it's a really good way to get past it. Super simple. Don't pick one thing, do 3 things. So again, in order to get started right now, these are tips that work for me. Don't wait for the mindset to be perfect. It won't be. It will never be. To get started right now, just start writing and the ideas will come. It really is how it works. Use a timed writing exercise like Scribbler. Play a short writing game like Stupid Haikus. Um, Brain dump ideas on a mind map. Get it visually. Use your colored pens. It's a lot of fun that way. See how it goes. Process the information differently. Or 4, instead of picking one perfect thing, pick 3 decent things and see what happens. It breaks up the logjam of perfectionism beautifully. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. I'm curious to hear if you have any other mindset issues that you can think of, let me know. Or anything else I can help you with, just let me know. And if you're struggling with writing content or the strategy or things like that, reach out to me. I got you covered, whether it comes to coaching or social media membership or one-on-one content. Just let me know. I'll get you taken care of. Yeah, anyways, I hope you have a good day. Happy Tuesday. And I will talk to you next week, okay? Bye.